Welcome into Eye on Northeast Kansas, the podcast. I'm Melissa Bruner, your host. This is where we recap some of the top interviews from the past week that you heard on Eye on Northeast Kansas, the TV show. You can catch that every Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock Central Time on WIBW TV and streaming live on WIBW.com. We have so many great things going on in the community, and this week we got to talk about some upcoming events, some fun musical entertainment that will be happening, cultural activities around the area, and also a great community project. Mike Bell is with the Topeka Area Sports Commission. They work on different things and bringing sporting events to the area, but also one thing they realized is that young people in the area need the chance to get off the sidelines and get in the games, but sometimes resources can stand in the way. So the Topeka Area Sports Commission has launched a new effort to make sure resources aren't an issue, and he stopped by the Red Couch to tell us about it. Welcome, Mike. Good to have you along.
Great to be here. Thank you.
So this is the CARES initiative.
Correct.
What is it you're trying to do?
So with our sports commission, when we started about a year ago, we identified areas of opportunity, kids not having access to adequate equipment. So that could be, flat balls at a basketball court. It could be a mitt with a hole in it, something like that. And we identified this as an opportunity that we need to get kids playing. We need to have them, out in our communities, just really fighting for their championships that they do. And so what we were really excited about was the opportunity to put together a fundraiser or this program, I should say, and just try to figure out how to get equipment in the kids' hands.
How widespread is the access challenge?
To be very honest, I don't have any research here in Topeka beyond that, but we do know that there are several entities around the nation that do programs very similar. So we did model around some of those similar programs, and it seemed like there were tons of communities that had very similar issues, so it's a pretty widespread problem, I would say.
And it's not just equipment that you're going to be raising money to do through the CARES initiative. You're talking about things like registration fees, which when you start looking at some of the leagues, there's a cost to participate in a league.
Absolutely. We know that there are traveling teams in our communities that will go out of town and play ball, and those aren't exactly the ones we're going for. It's the kids that maybe just don't have the access. It could be a home that just doesn't have the additional resources. They've got to decide, am I going to put food on the table or play? And we want to say, let's not have that discussion. Let's just get them out and playing. Right,
because it's not just the traveling leagues that charge a fee. Even our local leagues, there's a little fee to participate, and that can be a challenge that you just don't even think about.
Absolutely.
You've got a pretty good partner in this in terms of the equipment aspect of it. Who's partnering?
Yeah, Play It Against Sports has really worked with us and wants to be a strategic partner and a long-term partner, just getting that equipment out, and we are really looking forward to that going down the road.
To get this off the ground, you have a fundraiser plan because, of course, you need some money before you can give the money, right?
Exactly.
So what do you have coming up?
So we have identified a non-traditional golf tournament. I think there's a lot of golf tournaments that are out there, and we wanted to put something out there that's fun, that anybody could participate. And so we came up with a mini golf tournament that we're going to be hosting at the Sports Center on the 14th of this month.
Mini golf. Do you have to be an adult to sign up for the tournament, though? We probably should make that clarification.
We would prefer you be an adult to sign up for it. We're going to have some food, some drinks, and fun games. A little bit of twist on those that golf tournament. Look for some cornhole to be incorporated, ladder ball, things of that nature. So just a fun event.
And then once you have the fund established, because this fundraiser hopefully will get things kind of up and running, how will people be able to apply for assistance in the future?
So in October, we're going to start the actual application period. So we will put that out on Visit Topeka's website, visittopeka.com. We'll promote it on our Topeka Sports Commission Facebook page, and then we're having a website built currently, and once that's finished, it'll be there too.
So in the meantime, if you want to help get this off the ground, the grants for the Topeka Area Sports Commission CARES, TASC CARES, that mini golf tournament is coming up from 11 to 1:30 on Monday, August 14th. As Mike mentioned, it's going to be at Sports Center, which is right there off 10th and Wanamaker. Mm-hmm. And the tickets are $200 for a team of 4. That does include the food and drinks. So it's for 4 people. TopekaPartnership.com. I've also got a link on WIBW.com that will take you directly for the registration. And then you had said, Mike, October is when you're going to target getting those applications applications out?
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
then will there be some qualifications that you lay out at that time, and then you'll figure out how you're going to go
Yeah.
ahead and get everything selected?
Absolutely. We've got the qualifications all in the bag. We're ready to go. It's just getting those funds. And hopefully with this tournament, we'll be able to raise a ton of them.
Well, it's a great idea and a great job to get all the kids in the game. We appreciate that, Mike.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much. They will have an application process once the fund gets up and running. They should be announcing those details in October, so stay tuned, and we will be passing that along to everyone once that is all set. Also, an annual community event for more than 3 decades now has been the Race Against Breast Cancer. This is a 5K fundraiser to provide mammograms at free or low cost for people around Northeast Kansas. The co-chairs this year both have very personal reasons for getting involved. One of those co-chairs, Michelle Missette, visited with Dawn Robertson, the RABC administrator. Michelle, you're one of the honorary co-chairs,
Yes.
so congratulations.
Thank you.
Had you participated in the event before?
No, I've never heard of it before.
Wow. So what
Yes.
happened that inspired you to get involved?
The nurses at St. Francis.
Why did you have reason to be in contact with the nurses at St. Francis?
Well, I have breast cancer, and so doing chemo, I went to St. Francis, and the ladies there are amazing. It was a hard, thing to go through. I had detected it by doing self-exam on myself, and I was like, oh, it's a little bump, just like pea size, no big deal. Well, about 2 weeks into it, it went from pea size to a quarter size. So I was like, all right, I better go get
quick?
It went that quick, yes.
And when did all this unfold?
About December, January.
So just not even a year ago.
Not even a year
and
ago.
how old are you?
I am 39.
39 years old. So
Yes.
awful young. How much did that play into your reaction when you first started feeling something?
Well, like a lot of women that are out there, their tissues are already lumpy as it is. So some women, they're like, no, it's okay. I'm not going to go get checked.
And you were 39 years old.
I'm 39. Yeah, actually, I was 38 when I found it in December. I just turned 39. And so I was like, it can't be, And then when I felt it grow super fast, then I knew I had to go get a mammogram.
Did you have insurance? Was there any hesitation
Yes,
in being able to go?
No hesitation at all. I just knew, no matter what, I just had to go get a mammogram done, regardless of insurance. But yes, I do have insurance. So
for you, it wasn't that much of a hardship. But
Right.
Dawn, how often do you hear stories from women who maybe are in Michelle's place, they're feeling something, but they don't have insurance, or they're underinsured, and so they're like, I'm just going to put it off because I don't really think I can afford the money.
Right, and that's why the Race Against Breast Cancer exists for Northeast Kansans. We pay for screening and diagnostic mammograms and ultrasounds for those that are in need in our community, for men and for women, because breast cancer doesn't discriminate between if you're a man or if you're a woman or if you're young or if you're old. It really doesn't care. And so we want to remove those barriers. We know that the earlier that breast cancer is detected, the better the results. So the outcome is really wonderful for those that unfortunately have to go through it.
How many people is RABC able to help a year get that all-important mammogram?
Right, we pay for anywhere from 400 to 600 mammograms.
Wow.
In a year. And in our 32 years, we've paid for over 11,600 mammograms. And
I just want to applaud that number. That's fantastic.
And all of that money has been spent right here in Northeast Kansas. We're not a part of any hospital or any government agency or Komen or American Cancer Society. We are truly funded by Northeast Kansas businesses and individuals and fundraisers such as this annual 5K Run Walk. Exactly. And so all the money gets to stay right here to help those that are in need in our community.
Michelle, what's your prognosis?
Stage 3.
So you never know what lies ahead, but because you
Right.
were able to get that mammogram, hopefully you got a little bit of a leg up there.
Right.
How much does it mean to you to be able to lend your story to perhaps inspiring other women who might not otherwise get checked to get checked?
Oh, it means a lot. It means a lot. And I like to teach people about it. So being able to get out there and teach women about it is amazing.
Self-exams is the first part of that story,
Self-exam.
right? No matter what age you are.
Absolutely, no matter what.
Well, the race against breast cancer, when you can meet Michelle. You gonna run?
Yeah, well, I'm going to walk.
Walk. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Put one foot in front of the other at the race against breast cancer. This year's event, by the way, is coming up October 7th. It is taking place at Reynolds Lodge out at Lake Shawnee. Get the latest information at rabctopeka.org. You can also go there if you need these services, if you need help affording a mammogram. Right on that website, you can find out as well the information. Michelle,
Yes.
all the best to you.
Thank you.
And Dawn, thank you for being here as well. We look forward to joining you for another race
Yes,
this year.
thank you.
That is a 5K I try to put on the calendar every year and take part. It is always such an inspiring event. So hopefully we'll see most of you October 7th for the race against breast cancer. You can run or walk. I always say it is the perfect 5K for those who are a beginner because we've got folks of every skill level who head on out for RABC. Art with a Purpose is coming up at a Topeka bank soon. The Valeo Behavioral Health has their Creations of Hope exhibit. They partner with Heritage Bank on Wanamaker Road for this one. It opens August 8th, and we had one of the art therapists as well as Barb from Heritage Bank come on the show to tell us a bit about it. Barb Montgomery from Heritage and Raven Milam, an expressive art therapist, are here to tell us about it. Welcome, ladies. Appreciate this. Barb, I was asking you, how many years has the Heritage been teaming up with Valeo?
We have been, this is our 5th year.
Wow.
And that was, of course, COVID kind of threw us, but 5th year.
And this time flies when you're having fun.
Oh,
It's
it's a
called
blast.
Creations of Hope. What is it that Heritage Bank does?
Well, Bill, the CEO, and Amy and I got together for coffee 5 years ago and came up with this idea of bringing it out to the Southwest area about Valeo. And of course, back then, even 5 years ago, mental health wasn't talked about a lot, but the art is just amazing. And so we have such a beautiful bank there at Heritage Bank at 30th and Wanamaker, and we do anything and everything we can with the local. And so we got approval to have it in the entry area in our lobby, and it's just gorgeous.
And this is hosting an art exhibit.
Hosting it for 2 weeks, and we sell it if we're able to sell it for them, and then at the end of it, on the 18th, we always have a nice luncheon with their board, their artists, their families, and it's pretty special.
An amazing celebration. And yes, Raven, what is the backstory behind the art? Who are the artists and what is it they've created?
Yeah, so the artists are people from the community, from the Kansas area who support our message of art as healing. So they're people who have family members who might have struggled with mental health. They might struggle with mental health on their own. Or they might just be someone who supports the advocacy about the healing power of creative processes.
So some have been clients, some are supporters, some are loved ones.
It's more of just
it's
a community actually event. It's kind of separate than our actual mental health treatment. It is something that we do to bring a community together of people who have art they'd like to share.
In treatment itself, how do you find that art can assist mental health, whether you're actually actively getting treatment or just in our own daily lives for our own individual well-being?
Yeah, so art is a really good way of connecting with yourself. You create with your whole body, and you don't have to get caught up on the words or trying to find what put the right word with the right emotion, because we are very complex beings. And using the creative process, it's a good way of getting out that expression and finding a voice without having to use your voice.
And these are some of the examples of what will be on display?
Yeah.
What do we have?
So we have a hand-turned segmented vase
Beautiful.
by Yvonne. We have a resin-poured refillable notebook.
And yeah, it's hard to sometimes see the dimension on camera, but it's got dimension to it. It's raised, and there's the whole design.
And we have this wonderful painting, acrylic painting by Connie English, the cute little dog here.
I'm partial to animals, so I love that. And all of the items that are on display, they also can be purchased, is that correct?
Yes.
And how does that benefit? Is it go to the artist? Does some of it help Valeo's mission?
Well, what we do is we have we do a standard commission. So the artist, we get 30% for us to help with, setting up shows and stuff, but then 70% goes directly back to the artist.
It's a win-win.
Yes, and all of the money actually does go back into just having the show. So Valeo doesn't necessarily benefit, it just helps,
It helps
fund it
spread
going
the
forward,
message and
so
raise
we can have
awareness.
more shows.
Right, and spreading the message and raising awareness, Barb, is what it's all about.
Exactly, and them to come in on that Friday when we get to meet them, because they do a little bio by their art, so we get to kind of know them, but then to see the face that's related to that, and then when they see it's not there anymore, they know we sold it. I mean, it's
It's an accomplishment, right?
Man, they're so excited.
The resin notebook is fine, everyone. I just want to reassure everybody it is fine. The Creations of Hope art exhibit will be open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, August 8th to the 18th. It's at Heritage Bank's lobby. Heritage Bank is at 30th and Wanamaker. Just come on in. They won't make you don't have to bank there. You can just come in and check
That's right.
it out and
You
enjoy.
might have some cookies.
Ooh, that's why everyone's going to come.
There
Barb
you
said
go.
there'd be cookies. Barb, Raven, thank you both very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it. Cookies make everything better, right? But it is a great cause and a great event that they have, and they have partnered on for several years. So go check out the Creations of Hope art exhibit. Speaking of artwork, there is a new addition to the North Topeka Arts and Entertainment District. The NOTO landscape, the Serenity sculpture, has been unveiled near Redbud Park. We had John Hunter, who was one of the fathers of NOTO, if you will, one of the founders of the district, along with renowned artist Barbara Waterman Peters. They told us about Serenity and the story behind it. Thank you so very much for joining us and letting us get a little scoop, if you will, on what's been happening. And you two are certainly fixtures around NOTO. Of course, John, you and Anita Walgast are kind of the parents, and Barbara, you've been the aunt in the wings cheering them on every step of the way. How did this particular sculpture come to be?
Well, it's a wonderful story. In February, John Hunter and his wife, Lynette, walked into Studio 831, and John said, I have an idea.
This is how things happen, right?
Yes.
How things happen.
It happened before with John and me, so I was prepared. This is going to be something. So he presented the idea of a sculpture for Redbud Park, and it was based on an idea he had seen on vacation. He came up with a typewritten proposal. He had it all ready to show me, and my name was already on it.
So you couldn't say no.
So
say no.
I could hardly say no, and I probably wouldn't have with John anyway. I knew it was going to be great.
And the word that I've heard used is kinetic, John.
Yes.
So explain what it was that you were thinking. Kinetic meaning motion.
Yes, well, my wife and I were down in Sarasota, Florida. We were in the Marie Shelby Botanical Gardens down there, and we saw a sort of a model of this concept. And Lynette said, take a picture of that. I said, why? And she said, you might want to use that for something. So we brought it back. I started thinking about that, and one thing led to another. And when the idea of putting this type of sculpture together, this idea of something being kinetic means movement. And so it moves with the sun. All of the colors of the panel, if the sun is coming from the east in the morning, then the panel design is all over the sidewalk out by the road.
And we have some video because it was installed
great.
last week, dedicated yesterday. So if we can see the video, this will kind of explain what John is talking about. How did you come up then? So you've got the light and you have the color, but then Barbara, you came up with that centerpiece in the
Yes.
panels, the flower design.
I did, and John asked me to design the panel, and he wanted something that would pay tribute to his wife, Lynette, his long-suffering wife, and she is a wonderful gardener, and so he thought perhaps an iris would be a fitting symbol to recognize her. Well, I love to paint irises, so that was not difficult. And so I came up with the iris.
And that's how come your name was on the proposal before, before you even saw
It may have had something to do with it, yes.
And we have two lovely iris paintings by Barbara in our home.
What
So
does it mean to the both of you to see it now there and to have been able to see the sunshine?
Well, I was beyond overwhelmed last night, and I knew it was going to be marvelous, but it exceeded my expectations. As I told someone, there's no more room for any more happy. It's just phenomenal.
And what about you, John?
Well, it was excited to take a concept, you have a vision in your head, and you follow it through to completion. And then you stand there and you see something made out of steel and aluminum and acrylic plastic, and then you see it moving with the sun, that kinetic idea.
He looks like he's full of happy too, Barbara.
I'm full of happy as well. I am full of happy, thank you.
So everyone can go and see this anytime in Redbud Park.
Yes, best time for viewing is in the late afternoon or in the early morning.
Either time where the sun's shining one direction or the other.
But it moves throughout the day.
Perfect, John.
It also has a sort of kaleidoscopic effect. I think any time of day or night that people would want to visit it, they will have some kind of wonderful experience.
Absolutely. Well, it looks beautiful just from there. I have to go see it in person now. Barbara, John, thank you so very much for the story behind that edition. Love to hear it. While there is a new artwork added to the NOTO landscape, there is a new cultural festival that's being added to Evergy Plaza in downtown Topeka. The India Mela is coming up. V. Highland is one of the organizers. She came to tell us about it along with Sean Dixon from Visit Topeka. Welcome to both of you. And India Mela is what it's called, is that correct, V?
Yes.
What is it and what can we expect?
Yeah, so the word Mela means festival, and we're going to celebrate different parts of India. So we have arts and crafts, food, of course. We have performers visiting from different parts of Topeka as well, and different parts of the state to come make this event happen.
Well, how active is the Indian community in Topeka?
So we have a few hardworking volunteers on the committee, and we decided that we were going to bring different parts of India to this event. And what we did was we asked people that we knew in Topeka and Lawrence, in Wichita even. So our vendors, our performers are coming from all over to make this happen, and we're really excited about it.
What makes this so exciting for the Indian community in terms of especially being able to share and celebrate with the rest of the community at large?
Right, so this wouldn't have been possible without Sean Dixon at Visit Topeka, who approached us to make this happen, and it gave us the push to start something for the capital of Topeka. So I think it's really great to see the cultural aspects coming, and people from all over Topeka are welcome to come. It's a free event, right? So we're expecting about 2,000 people, and I hope that everyone has a good time and takes a little moment to travel to India with us.
Well, what is the one thing that you want people to understand about the Indian culture?
Absolutely. So again, it's a free event. Everyone is welcome. We're expecting about 2,000 people. I want people to remember to bring some chairs because it's at Evergy Plaza, and also remember that we have parking garages in downtown. So with the 2,000 people, we don't know what the parking will look like. So don't forget the parking garages, and then bring cash. A lot of our vendors will be cash only, and just come and enjoy.
And I love what you're showcasing now for us to grow and learn and understand as well. And part of it is the henna will be there. You've got that on your arm.
Yes.
We'll show it. Maybe Angel can kind of zoom in and see. It's beautiful artwork. And will people be able to get some of this at the festival?
There will be henna there, yes. Does
this design have any meaning?
Nope, I just do it whatever comes to my mind. Thank you. There'll be henna, there'll be jewelry vendors, there'll be arts vendors, so you can purchase traditionally made art. You can get traditional food that you don't find in restaurants. That would be really good. So come out and come out early if you can, because we're expecting food to get sold out.
Come out early and stay late. I mean, we're not ignoring you, Sean. I'm just fascinated in hearing, and I've been admiring the henna. Why does this benefit Visit Topeka? What was it that made you reach out and say, you know what, we want to showcase you all downtown?
Absolutely. So I moved to Topeka in 2020. Height of the pandemic, I'd never really been here, never been to Kansas. And I've truly been welcomed into a community that I've discovered is very multicultural, is very diverse, but hasn't necessarily had the opportunity to really let as much of that diversity shine as is warranted. We're the capital of city of Kansas. To me, that means we're the gathering place for all Kansans. To be working with our Indian community, which in the travel and tourism space, there's a lot of active players in this, hotel owners. We have a lot of medical personnel and doctors in this community. They're very important to the tapestry of Topeka, but to have the opportunity to work with them to create a cultural celebration around them and to help people understand that they're our neighbors and our friends just like everybody else, and that there's this wonderful just cultural celebration just brewing right under the surface.
And it is the
It's huge for
latest,
us.
exactly, in a series of cultural celebrations. We're just the focus of a national article about the diversity that we celebrate in Topeka. How does this fit in with some of the other festivals we've had recently?
Absolutely. So we've provided the support we've provided to India Mela, to the Fiesta Topeka, and now for the Culture Festival, which just occurred this last weekend, which was a really fun time in downtown to see the African American heritage of this community celebrated at the Plaza as well. So to have all of this diversity and the opportunity to highlight it and focus it and have these great venues and areas of the city that we've seen so much investment and so much time taken into making beautiful, to let our citizens shine in it is perfect for us and perfect for tourism, as folks come in and have an excuse to experience different walks of life as part of our tourism makeup.
Well, everyone has a story, and it's wonderful to be able to share the story of all of Topeka. Everyone is part of it. Thank you, V and Sean. The India Mela is 6 to 10 o'clock Friday, August 11th at Evergy Plaza. As V mentioned, food, henna, dancing, outfits, jewelry, all will be there. Free event, so check it out. Thank you both for coming in and letting us know about it.
Thank you.
I promised you some music before we wrap things up today, and we were blessed to have Travis Marvin join us in the studio. He is a Kansas-born musician, and he does country music. He is fresh off a performance at Country Stampede in Topeka. He is going to be the opening act for the Roots and Boots tour that is coming to the Topeka Performing Arts Center September 22nd. That tour features Sammy Kershaw, Colin Ray, and Aaron Tippin, and Travis Marvin will be among the legends. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Melissa. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Not too bad.
It's hot. Did you hear
it's hot? Jeremy, it's hot.
It's hot.
hot.
We've established that it's hot.
It
and
is
you're going
hot.
to heat up TPAC, which
Yeah.
is super fun. Where are you from? What's your musical?
So I'm from Ottawa, Kansas. Actually.
Ottawa,
Like
Kansas.
an hour south of here.
And where's your career taken you?
We've been all over the country. Actually, I've played, I could say worldwide. We've
Yeah.
done some stuff in Virgin Islands and that kind of stuff on a
Fun.
couple cruise ships.
Are you
but
fortunate enough that you can do this full time, or do you have to have a day
This
job?
is full time for 15 years.
That is awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome. And you've just came from Country Stampede.
Yep, 2 weeks ago.
How fun is that?
It was a blast. It always is. You know, I've been very fortunate enough to do it for the last several years, for sure. While I've been here in Topeka, and before that even as well. So, but you know what? A lot of people they always do a great job with the concert. So it was a lot of fun.
Now you're going to take the show indoors to Topeka Performing Arts Center in September. Do you have to tone it down at all? What's the difference
no.
between outdoors and indoors?
I mean, no, you don't tone it down.
I mean, it's formal inside TPAC.
Yeah, but they just the only difference is they get to sit down. But sometimes they stand up though too, you know.
Which makes it fun.
Yeah, it makes it fun too.
Have you performed at TPAC before?
I never have actually, so I look forward to that. Blair Adams over there actually took me in when we came in town for Stampede. He took me in to kind of look at it, and it's a beautiful place.
And what about these three? Sammy Kershaw, Colin Ray, Aaron Tippin. Aaron Tippin was actually at Country Stampede a couple years ago.
Yeah, so out of those three, I've played and met and talked with Aaron quite a bit. But the other two I've not, Sammy and Colin. And Colin's a great, I mean, I've known Colin's music for years. It's kind of influenced me a little bit earlier in my career. But I look forward to being with all three of them, really. And there's plenty of stories about all three.
Not all suitable for a 4 o'clock family sharing.
Maybe not. But Sam, I'll tell you one real quick. So Sammy Kershaw, the way to make Sammy Kershaw a happy man, sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
Okay.
That's it.
Got to know the difference between the sweet and the unsweet for Mr. Kershaw.
Yeah,
You said that
definitely.
some of them influenced your music a little bit.
Sure.
So how would you describe Travis Marvin's style?
I would say, I've had people tell me that it's kind of a mixture between like Eric Church, George Strait. So if you say that, you're like, wait a minute, Eric Church.
Yeah.
In the 2000 era, and then George Strait obviously in the 90s and late 80s. So I don't know. I try to kind of hit it all, to be honest with you, and I keep all of my music is about my life. It's influential from my life of things that have happened in it, whether it's good or bad. Not many party drinking songs, but we always have fun with a lot of stuff.
Of course you do. And this is going to be some of the classics, the greats and
Yeah,
legends. What does it mean to you to be on the same bill with them?
Anybody that I get a chance to play with that has history or that has a past in the music industry is always very important for me. One, just because they obviously have stories to tell, the things that have happened to them. They also, too, have always been, obviously they're very successful because they're still doing it. They've been doing it for many years, and that's where I hope to be sometime soon. So, it's very cool to be with them, and I look forward to just sharing the stage with them.
Well, you have a
an honor.
guitar with you.
I do.
It's not just a prop, right?
I think it'll play.
You think it'll play? All right.
think.
Let's hear a little bit of your music, Travis
wanna hear
Marvin.
This is one back in the day, but I'm gonna play this obviously.
Okay.
So it's called Saving It Up for Saturday Night. Go like this. Monday morning, it's the same old grind. Passing in the hallway, a kissing goodbye. I gotta run. There's never any time for the two of us. We gotta do a little catching up when the weekend comes. Saving it up for Saturday night, from sundown to the morning light. We're gonna find us a hardwood floor and dance like we never danced before. Cut loose and hold on tight. We won't stop till we get it right. Living it up for Saturday night. Oh, that's right. Yeah, come on. I need an electric guitar. Somebody playing.
I like
It's okay. All right, here this part goes like this. Here we go. Save it up for Saturday night, from sundown to the morning light. We're gonna find us a hardwood floor. We can dance like we never danced before. Cut loose and hold on tight. We won't stop till we get it right. Living it up for Saturday night. Yeah, we're saving it up for Saturday nights. Oh, that's right.
Very good.
Yeah.
I have bad news for you, though.
Tell me.
The Roots and Boots tour concert is on a Friday night.
Well, I gotta change the words.
Oh,
Since
no.
I wrote it, I probably can. I mean, right? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Well, check out Travis Marvin and the Roots and Boots tour. Sammy Kershaw, Colin Ray, and Aaron Tippin, 7:30 September 22nd at the Topeka Performing Arts Center. You can get your tickets right now at tpactix.org or topekaperformingartscenter.org if that's easier for you to remember. Travis, thank you so very much.
Thank
We
you so
look
much.
forward to seeing you on stage. And it was good to have Travis visit the studio, and good to have you along with us for the Eye on Northeast Kansas podcast this week as well. Remember, you can see the video from these segments and all of the segments from our show on WIBW.com. I also post them on my Facebook page, WIBW Melissa Bruner. And of course, you can check out our WIBW TV 13 News YouTube channel. Click subscribe while you're there. Hope you have a great week. We'll see you on the Red Couch.